I am obsessed with this look and we're going to learn how to do it, but we're going to do it with a twist and we're going to make it drugstore edition. First, the makeup artist starts off with eyebrows. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour clear brow lamination, and I'm going to give myself some actual thick eyebrows. So one thing she doesn't need to do to that model's face is color correct, but I need to color correct before I go in with any primer or illuminator. So I'm going to go in with these Essence color correctors, and I'm going to first start by applying a little bit of peach color corrector anywhere where I have hollowness or blue. Now for the illusion of fuller brows, I went in with the NYX Brow Micro Pencil. I love this one. And because the model has very thick, strong eyebrows, I really overemphasized mine. She starts tracing the bottom of the brows concealer. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Hydra Concealer and a flat concealer brush. And I'm got any excess on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to use the tip just to trace the bottom of my eyebrow. Powder bronzer, this one is 350 medium, the L'Oreal Infallible bronzer. And she just goes in and starts building up the outer crease and a little bit up above the crease, kind of leaving this inner area blank. So I'm going to use this palette. This is the Wet n Wild Always Naked palette, and I'm going to go in with this light brown color. You could probably mix these two. She has a little bit of a warm tone brown. Again, with the big fluffy brush, I'm going to take this off, and she applies this into the hollows or the crease of the eye. A slightly darker color, so what I did is I take a little bit of this, and I use a smaller blending brush. I top off the back on the excess of my hand, and I'm working the product from the outer corner a little bit to the center of the eye on a diagonal, up into the crease, and then a little bit out just there. But I want to keep this part of my eye as light as possible, so from the iris in, and then we're going to lighten that up with concealer. At this point, I'm going to go back in with this tiny little brush, and I'm going to apply some concealer. This is the inner corner. She stays below the crease, just to lighten up this area right here. And you stop about halfway through the eye. Once you've done your concealer, you can go in with the same flat shader brush or a new one, and she goes in with a light peach and then almost like a off-white. Hers is a little bit more pinky. Tap off any on the excess. And we're just going to tap that right over where we placed the concealer. Hers was a little bit more peach. I'm just going to go back in after I get that first layer down, and I'm just going to use a new fluffy brush and the peach. I'm just going to go over with the peach, and that way it's going to mute it down a little bit and make it a little bit more closer to the tutorial and the skin tone. Next, you're going to grab your Scotch tape, put it on the back of your hand, press really